What it do? It's your boy came back again with another one. Remember that freestyle I did the other day? I figured I'd do another one. But let me know what y'all think. Should I make the whole song or should I just go to something else? Oh, I almost forgot. I want this to sound good, so I gotta do this the right way. All right, it's on. Testing, testing, 1, 2, testing, testing. I'm pretty sure we in there. Bear with me, y'all. Bear with the kid. Bear with the kid. I hope everybody had a good day today. Um, some of y'all didn't get off work yet. Ones who did, I know y'all ready to enjoy the rest of y'all day. I can dig it. I am too. You feel me? Yeah. So y'all know what it is. Hang him on this shit. MSC, you are 1,000 made soldiers. It's the brand, it's the squad, it's the gang. You know how we been. Aiming Avenue, 10 dudes, just the big Zax. I'm thinking y'all going hard, then I'm on the trip. Slinging rocks, slinging snow. Boy, you know I got that blow. Take him up. I ain't doing that. Having the crack. Had a crack. My hip a bat. Beat him with the skitty scat. Beat another kitty cat. Getting busy, stacking up the paper scat. With close friends, pass away, stare. Oh, hold up. We gonna run that back. We gonna run that back. MC and you 1,000 made soldiers, it's the squad, it's the brand, it's the gang. You know how we bang, Raymond Avenue, 10 dudes, just the big ass. I'ma do y'all going hard, then I'm on the track, slinging rocks, slinging snow, boy. You know I got that blood. They could try and take me out, know that I ain't having that. Getting with the bizzle back, letting up the kitty cat, sliding in the skitty scat, getting busy stacking up the piss there. With some close friends, pass away, thinking about them every day, trying to catch the perfect play, the perfect pass, get it in and get it gone. All the sudden moving. That's what I be talking about. Never been in drought, cause the clout that I got is tremendous. I'm the business throwing dishes. When I finish, I'ma hit you in a minute. Get my wife to get it, cause I know she with it. And she down for a crown, and she down for the green bean. When I leave the scene, I be on the scene. When I leave the scene, it's gonna be yellow tape out that bitch. I'ma do a nigga dirty, leave him looking murky in his own pool of blood. Wish you nigga would, we gon' bang it out that bitch. I don't give a fuck for real. Niggas ain't fucking with the drill. I'ma kill this shit. Everybody on this bitch, you can come and feel this shit. Haha. No, y'all. That was a little something I try to put together. I still got to work on it, but yeah, I just had to throw that out there real quick because it's been bugging me like crazy to rap that I messed up, but that was a little something. It was pretty good. Thanks, Rolf does anything. Yeah, man, that wasn't my best. That was me rushing. I was trying to make something to put on here. Cause yesterday I did this and I got some good feedback from it. My Fredrickson, what's going on? Edith, Sayers, Padilla, what's going on? What's going on? Yeah, I did a rap yesterday, my last episode. Um, If y'all didn't already subscribe to the channel, make sure you like, make sure you comment so you can get put in the get on the scoreboard. Yeah, that was a beat that I've been working on for a little minute. Only like a day for real, for real. I got another beat that I could do that I ain't never do. But I want to do it because, I fuck with y'all real heavy. Without y'all, it wouldn't be no smoke. It wouldn't be no Made Soldiers. We rock with each other. Here we go. Damn, you should get more viewers, like, and subscribe for real. Okay, I might just do that. And this going out the top. Yeah. Made Soldiers is the squad. Stop fucking with the kids. You already know. Don't fuck with the feds. We get it in and get it gone. Just we do this shit. Running laps around the track. Getting straight to the shit. Fuck around and get your body hit. What you wanna do for real? Yeah, I know. We got another hater. Ain't nothing fake. I pay for this shit. Stop playing with me. Yeah, these ones right here. I just put them in there. But yeah, we definitely big ball. What you talking about? Just in case I gotta show somebody else the money is definitely legit. We don't do that fake shit around here. Wonder of the world. Hey y'all, make sure y'all tag Wonder of the World. We got another hater, y'all. I love this shit. Don't hate. You know what I'm saying? You probably ain't got no subscribers. The bum ass. Fuck out of here. Y'all make sure y'all go subscribe to Wonder of the World. Everybody, you know what I'm saying, tag that motherfucker. But yeah, y'all know they the motivation. That's they give me the MO to keep going and keep pushing because I know somebody see it and they want it. You feel me? They envious. You know what I'm saying? I surely don't drop one of them. Wow. I No, I don't worry about what I drop. But yeah, just know I got more money than you. But we don't do this for the money. We do this for the educational purposes. I'm trying to spread awareness for mental health and substance abuse disorders because that's what's wrong with my city right now. Where you at? Wonders of the world. I'm in Baltimore, Maryland right now. You can't troll me, bro. Where you at, brother? I control you as well I want. Wonders of the world. Y'all better go tag that motherfucking mop head. Fuck you talking about. Do you have a page? You got a Facebook or Instagram or something? So we can go give you some I'm gonna give you some clout. Cause that's what you looking for. Don't worry, you're gonna be the first person that I make sure I get some some giveaways from. I'm gonna send you some flowers, man, cause you funny. Next, we back. Next, we back. We back. Wonders of the world, man. You really funny, kid. You make me laugh when I think about what you said. Hey, I do my shit for the hoppers, not you old ass niggas. Man, you need to get a job. You sitting in this bitch, sitting on my plate. You's a fucking clown. I'ma lay you down. with the trade pound. If you come around, you better not make a sound. I'ma track you down and I'ma blow you down. Let me stop playing. We don't condone violence, y'all. We don't condone violence. All right, back to regular scheduled programming. We got a little sidetrack messing with them goofies. Definitely, everybody, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe, make sure you like, make sure you share the video. For more content like this, subscribe. We do this every day, pretty much. I don't think it's a day that's been taken. I've taken off in quite a while, at least since I started going live, because I got the ability to feed to talk to y'all live, so it's different. Um, yeah, yeah. I put the mic down. I was having fun just now with that cat, Wonders of the World. By the way, you in first place too, with 75 points. Gary, you're in second place. We got 4 likes. We doing something, y'all. We definitely getting somewhere. Getting somewhere. If y'all want to hear more freestyles, just let me know. If you got a beat you wanted me to rap to, put it in the chat. I'll definitely make a rap to it. That's what I'm gonna start doing also. You put a rap song in the chat that you like, and I will make sure that I write a rap to it. This guy right here. Here you go, get it. You know what's funny? I had some fried chicken earlier from I think it was from New York Fried Chicken. They had some little ass pieces. I ain't gonna lie, that was crazy. They usually give us nice size wing. New York Fried Chicken though, they chicken be so greasy. Like I hate eating it because I always get like my stomach start hurting. People be wringing their chicken out when it be in group. They could take paper towels and wrap it and really like press it on the chicken. Like seriously, but I guess that works for them. Yeah. So like I said, that little freestyle I did, I gotta work on that. I'm gonna do the whole song. It's definitely gonna be lit, and I'm gonna come back with it on the whole track. That was just a snipper. Like I didn't even practice it for real. I just said it a few times. That's why if you go back and listen to it, some of it you couldn't understand what I was saying because I was rushing, trying to spit this because it like I was taught that if you get an idea and you don't want nobody to steal it, you got to get it off be first, because people ideas are like items you buy from the store. If you don't get to it before somebody else do, they're gonna run out. Okay, it's that guy. What's going on, Cat? What's going on, champ? Welcome to the Made Soldiers platform. Over here, we tell jokes. We talk about news, local news, breaking news, celebrity news, weather. But our main focus is to spread the awareness for substance abuse and mental health issues. I also got a playlist over here for just straight talking to recovering addicts. I interview them. We run down a bunch of questions. We have a good time talking. Most of these people that I talk to, I want to say all of them. All of them, I feel like was good people. Like, cause don't get me wrong, I know in this line of business, it's gonna be people that I'm gonna interview that I'm not gonna get along with, and I'm gonna think they point of view suck. But you know, when you doing something that you really like to do, you look past it and stuff. So, you know, I'm gonna be quick to look past the fact that this person might be a junkie still, or might have stole something from somebody, or whatever the case may be. Thank you for the likes. I like that. The hearts. I mean, y'all also can support me on Cash App if y'all want to. My Cash App name, Malachi Dobbins 1. Capital M, everything else lowercase. God, who hitting that heart like that? Shit, that's what's up. I need all the support I could get. The more support y'all bring to me, the bigger the platform can grow, and the more we can get out there. Mm-hmm. Ain't nothing been really popping off lately for real. I don't think so anyway. Anything y'all want to talk about? Anything anybody got name mind they want to talk about? We talk about it. Right now, I don't really have nothing on the agenda. I'm about to just probably look at some videos on YouTube while I'm on here. I'm gonna probably stay on here for probably like another 15 minutes just to see how it go. So far, I had some haters. I had some people show some love. I think I had some of the squad on there. If you wanted me to shout you out, you gotta hit subscribe so you can get on the top fan list. I mean, yeah, that's not how you get on the top. Well, that's another way you can get on the top fan list. But if you subscribe, then your name you'll get shouted out every time I do shout outs. Every single time. Who don't want to get shouted out every single time? That can be you. All you gotta do is subscribe and your name will pop up. Your name should definitely pop up. Unless you got your settings or something changed. Everything should be copacetic. Oh, see, somebody did it. See who that is. I'm probably gonna be able to tell you right now. Yep. I can't even say that name, but they first letter start with an S. SP. That's what I'm gonna call them. Shout out to SP for subscribing, man. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you very much. Shout out to Bar Down Bandit. Shout out to Glided. At Glided, please. Shout out to Sammy Johanna Powell at Sammy Johanna Powell 403. Shout out to Queen V at It's Zach's Mommy. Shout out to Dankzilla 972 at Dankzilla 972. Shout out to C Nell 817 at C Nell 817. Shout out to Nina at Astro Station. It's 3i. Shout out to Illy P at Illy P15. Shout out to Rondell Vague. Shout out at Rondell Vague 2954. Shout out to Greenleaf 210. That's my boy Scary Larry 2285. My man, my man. If you want to get on the shout out list, you gotta subscribe. Shout out to Wello, Well Love at some Exerex. Shout out to Toxic Cowboy at Toxic Cowboy 8124. I see you. Shout out to Oliver Quintanilla. I see you, girl. Now you know the rest of these been subscribed for at least a week or two. But y'all definitely get shout. You getting shouted out every time I shout out if you're on this list. So that's awesome, I think. Next we got Andrew Lawrence. Shout out to King J Sky, you can subscribe right now. You might make the list. You got to do it before I finish the shout outs though. Shout out to Evan Franklin at Ghost Baby 1998. Shout out to Christopher Dawson at Chris Man 850. I hope you good, man. You got that. We ain't heard from you in a little minute. Like I said, you got that. You got my name too, man. You running right for that. Dana Lopez at J Baby times 2. I hope you on your man doing night wherever y'all at. It's a dirty game out here. Shout out to CV the Spy 38. Yeah, bro, you know I sub back with you. Get at me, get at me. I need to holler at you about that crib. I'm trying to do something. Tyrena Simpson at Tyrena Simpson Humphrey 5532. Shout out to Darius Bowers at Darius Bowers 7604. Shout out to Brad 2400 at Brad 2400. And last but not least, shout out to Jonna. Shout out to Glenda Brown Connor, aka Miss Glenda, the one and only first subscriber that I had. Miss Glenda, I wish you could see me now. Everything I talked and I told you I was going to do, I was going to do it. I got the interviews up. I got the weight up. I'm in there. We doing good now. All right. Nobody else jumped on there. Okay, that's cool too. Ain't no big deal. I'm the sickest nigga living. The killer rapper spitting, trying to take me off my pivot like shooting from a distance. Ball, pistons, y'all, bitches, or is it flow? Christmas, rap. A nigga up like blow, ship them. I be up the fly, weed, eyes like Chinese, work like ivory. I see dead people running from the fair people. Better look ahead, people. Cypher. Same cipher. I'm the sickest nigga living. The illest rapper spitting, trying to take me off my pivot like shooting from distance. Ball, pistons, y'all, bitches, or is it flow? Christmas, rap a nigga up. Okay. Oh, my fucking cat got them reflexes. This shit is crazy. Like this cat is fucking with this snake. As though the snake is trying to go wherever it's trying to go, and the cat just keep like grabbing it. Like you know how the cat is playing with it. They keep using his paws and his claws to like grab it real quick and stop it, and then the snake will turn back and try to bite it. That cat is just too fast. But Oh, that cat, man, cats got this quicker reflexes out of any animal, I think, in the world.
The story of Broke as is just sad. This man had a somewhat promising career in music until he got into a high-speed chase gone wrong. This caused him to have the Gatorade symbol next to his name ever since. He has a brain injury, and allegedly his baby mama took advantage of this.
Hey, you know I go wild too. I lose my mind too. But like, she's not good. She stole 80,000 from me, up Drakey, made me shaky. Nah, shit. Hey, it wasn't no whoa. I got out the house. I slid out. She put the Drake down. Said she won't call him.
Fuck is he talking about?
You already know what the fuck is going on, y'all. Y'all always calling me a bop. So I decided to get my Daddy G's tatted on my face. So y'all can know that I'm a loyal ass bitch.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. This is how you get locked in right here, for real. I really gotta mark my whole territory on you.
Territory, nigga?
I want you to put it. I want you to put it on both sides of her face, like on the right and the left.
Whatever y'all want me to do, I'm gonna do. You already know.
Alright, say no love.
I don't know about all that.
You know, after this ain't no going back, right?
Like, I'm kind of scared. Is it gonna hurt?
Man. Yo, let me.
Yo, that's crazy.
Nah, y'all ready?
Man, that's the moment of truth.
You already.
It would be crazy. Oh, Jangles, I don't even know what I said. I don't have none of them in my hood, man.
Disturbing catastrophes, 7 levels. From a bird strike that sent a plane crashing into a concrete wall and left most of its passengers dead. These 7 levels. From a bird strike that sent a plane crashing into a concrete to a chain of explosions so powerful they unleashed energy 5 times greater than the bomb dropped on Hiroshima. The deeper we go into this iceberg, the natural phenomenon. Eruption in April 2024 was an unexpected stratovolcano eruption in Indonesia that ended up producing some of the wildest images and footage ever seen. The initial eruption caught the locals by surprise, who had to be evacuated within hours of it. The first wave sent ashes and hot volcanic rock as high as 2 kilometers up in the sky. Residents of the area were promptly evacuated, and a 4-kilometer exclusion zone was established. However, that was the least of the residents' worries, because just a few hours later, volcano erupted once again. This time it threw up ash and volcanic rock as high as 2.5 kilometers into the air. Eventually, the debris and gases reached the stratosphere, and visibility became extremely low. It was the second more intense eruption that got most of the social media coverage. Most footage that came out of the scene showed imagery that could literally be considered straight out of a Lord of the Rings sequel. A red-hot, glowing, fiery lava column basically surrounded and illuminated by purple volcanic lighting. According to Reuters, almost 13,000 purpley lightning strikes were recorded in under 24 hours.
What up?
Ash and debris particles colliding with each other in midair. The volcano damaged more than 500 homes and displaced over 11,000 people. Airports were closed. Due to low visibility, and many international flights were canceled due to the bad quality air. When things finally started to quiet down and the rebuilding started, the volcano erupted once again. After 2 weeks of peace, the third eruption that occurred was not only more intense, it was also reported to be louder, covered a wider area, and was followed by multiple aftershocks and earthquakes that kept going for the longest time. The entire cycle of evacuation and safety response began again and continued into mid-May. There were, thankfully, no casualties, and the entire ordeal was brought under control. On the other hand, the visuals that came out of it were entirely too surreal to be taken lightly. Fireworks fire. The Esparto fireworks explosion, occurring on the 1st of July last month, is one of the most recent catastrophes caught on camera. Ironically, the explosion occurred at a pyrotechnics facility in Esparto known as Devastating Pyrotechnics. At around 6 p.m. on the 1st of July 2025, the entire warehouse of fireworks detonated in a series of blasts that tore through the building like ammunition. Videos captured by the local news channel showed how devastating the explosions actually were. There were a large number of explosions, followed by 2 massive ones that quite literally flattened the building. This was followed by massive fireworks igniting and creating a chain reaction that ended up in a grand fire. The footage clearly shows the sparks from the fireworks followed by catastrophic blasts and a large amount at 18 years old. It was Jesus Ramos's first day at work at the factory, and he was a young investigation opened a can of worms that revealed that the facility was not likely to contain.
What you know about pain when you standing in the rain? This little baby microphone is young man little. Got him for a good deal though. You get to so you can, and the person that you talking to can y'all can both, I mean, had a mics like y'all having an interview.
Display great
Awesome.
Additionally, the site was owned by the very sheriff who had first responded.
I think they last long too. Every time I did an interview with these, they never ran out on me. And I did. Interviews last me like hour and
with the grave loss of
10
life,
minutes sometimes.
This particular accident is one of the deadliest firework-related explosions in recent times.
People be tripping. First, that one hater from the other day said I had fake money, and then the hater today said I had the fake chains. Like, bro, we do this. Ain't nothing fake about nothing. You feel me? Like, yeah, big Cardi's right here. I ain't trying to brag or nothing. I'm just saying, though. So, you feel me? This shit is nothing, man. I've used it. This is my weapon ring right here. I paid $350 for this. This little ring by itself. I thought I got some earrings with them too, matter of fact. Yeah, I did get some diamond earrings, but I lost them. Because my wife had got a ring too, and she got earrings too. But she still got her earrings. I'm probably saying where my wife at right now. Right now, she is I cannot explain. I feel like I want to say she at the hospital. 'Cause where she at is a place to help her get better with her life. Like she's somewhere. She's not in the drug program because she would be with me. She's not in jail though. And she's not in a like a real hospital. It's like a place people go to detox. That's the best way I can explain it. It's somewhere they send you to get your system back right, or other reasons too. But most of the time, it's to help you get your system back uh, regular, like it should be without no substances. Because if you doing that stuff, you're gonna be sick when you don't get it, and you're not gonna be able to function right. So that place is for people that can't function right. They got nurses that's right there with them. They got other stuff. You know what I'm saying it's made for people that pretty much.
Level 2, demolition. There was a video that surfaced around February of 2020 that showed a drone image of a man.
Regular. Once you come back regular, then she'll be here. They don't want her here with me throwing up and all sit and that rubbing off on me, even though it's not. But
Blowtorching a structure on the roof of a colossal stadium. Just a few seconds later,
I'm glad because if I know me, I would go get her something. I wouldn't even care. I'm just saying I'm not gonna let my people get sick, especially my wife. Like
entire stadium collapses onto itself like an ant colony. When watching the footage, the natural reaction for most people would be to believe it was.
They sitting there in the agony, crying and whining, and no, I ain't going like that because I know how that feel. I ain't gonna let her feel like that. If she do it and do too much, then I'll have
a scene from a movie, or perhaps someone exaggerating certain effects with editing. Unfortunately, every part of that
phone so she can call somebody, get some help for her, but that's it. We're not gonna make that an excuse for every time, but we also not gonna let you be around me messed up. I'm gonna make sure you good, but after that, because clearly you couldn't manage it yourself, because we wouldn't have been in that situation.
The clip is true. The stadium in question was the SKK Petersburgsky Arena in St. Petersburg. It had a capacity of 25,000.
I'm gonna be giving you the money to get whatever you want, or I'm gonna be getting it for you, and I ain't trying to be in that boat.
People and had been notable for its tennis matches. In 2019, the place was ordered.
You that's doing that. It's a disease that you fighting on that. So I'm gonna give you a pass on that. You know what?
To be converted into an ice hockey arena for the 2023 IIHF World Championship. And for that, a lot of changes were underway. Work began on the structure in 2019, and around January 2020.
Yeah, right there now. Yeah. And they call. They're not about us again.
It was at its peak. On January 31st, a group of workers were at the sites cutting metal cables to ease the stadium's demolition. The worker shown in the drone footage accidentally went through the foundational metal support with his torch, which ended up causing the entirety of the enormous structure to fall. There was another worker in a safety basket just a few meters away from him, but but sadly the victim could not be reached in time and ended up being buried in the rubble. Police and emergency ministry officials identified the worker who died as 29-year-old Matvey Kucherov. The question here arises, why was Kucherov not tethered to the safety cage in the first place? According to later reports, officials in higher brass already knew the dangers of working on the structure, but nothing was reported, nor were any safety measures adapted. A user on Reddit voiced out his concerns over the entire operation, saying, "The whole demolition seems dodgy. Contracted out to a company with one employee and no demolition experience, using bust-in Uzbek workers. Considering the only foreseeable outcome of a cutting the roof cables was a collapse, the video heavily implies that this may have been an intended outcome. Tragically, not much came out of the death of that one worker. By spring 2020, demolition of the damaged structure was complete, and the debris was cleared away completely. Construction of the new SKA arena began later that year.
Low pops or tipsy low pops. Hit that like button. Hit that like button. Hit that like button.
Goyanya accident. We've seen the implications of a radioactive leak on a massive scale, the most notable being the Chernobyl disaster in 1986. However, an event known as a Goyanya accident, though much smaller in scale, became one of the deadliest nuclear accidents in the world. In September of 1987, in Goiânia, Brazil, a pair of scavengers managed to break into a defunct radiotherapy clinic. They came across a radiation therapy source, a metal canister containing cesium-137, and took it home. Naturally, they were completely unaware of the implications of what that blue powder was. After breaking into the capsule containing the radioactive cesium and seeing its subtle blue glow, they sold it to a scrapyard where it was displayed as a showpiece. Because people didn't know what this thing was, they were not only curious about it, they actively played around with it by putting it on their skin and coloring their clothes. The scrapyard owner's young daughter became the first victim of the deadly blue powder, followed by 3 more. Just a month after her exposure to it, she was buried in a thick lead coffin encased in concrete. The other 3 would soon follow suit. The worst part is, these 3 fatalities were not the only ones of them. More than 200 people were found contaminated.
Radiation.
Most common symptoms they were showing were vomiting, dizziness, difficulty breathing, skin lesions, and eventually death. Naturally, with contamination this intense, the infrastructure was also not safe to be around. At least 85 buildings were contaminated, out of which 42 were houses. Most of them were completely evacuated, and some of them were even demolished. Cleanup was just as dangerous as the initial leak and had to be done carefully in order to avoid any more victims.
I just check my lock up.
IAEA later categorized the Goiânia incident as one of the world's worst LPG explosion. In 2021, a man living in Craiova, Romania, reported to the local authorities about his house smelling like gas. He insisted that there was a leak and that it should be instantly looked into. In 2021, a man living in Craiova, Romania, reported to the local authorities about his house.
Shout out.
Unbeknownst to the people living in the area, and that man, the
station,
had makeshift pumps for their customers that were not only extremely unprofessional, but also extremely dangerous.
We're looking at the most disturbing disastrous caught on camera.
The 26th of August, 2023, things blew over when one of the pumps caught fire and subsequently ended up in two catastrophic explosions. The first explosion was what alerted the authorities to rush to the site. However, because they didn't know about the extent of the fire in the station, another explosion soon followed while experts were trying to suppress it. Footage coming out of the accident clearly depicts how absolutely horrific the situation was. The second blast gave rise to a massive mushroom cloud whose sheer pressure flung out debris and flames all around it. More than 50 people were badly injured, out of which 26 were firefighters. However, the most tragic part of the entire disaster was the horrific revelation that the man we mentioned in the beginning, the one who had consistently complained to authorities about the smell of gas, had died alongside his wife in the first explosion. His wife had sustained unsalvageable burns from the blast and died in the hospital a few hours later. The man himself most likely died of a fatal heart attack after witnessing his partner reach such a horrific end. While the fire was contained a few hours later, the extent of the loss of life and infrastructure caused this incident to become one of the most infamous fire-related incidents in Romania. Eschede train disaster.
That was Romania.
The Eschede train disaster of 1998 is one of Germany's deadliest locomotive disasters. On June 3rd, an intercity express ICE carrying 287 passengers left its station from Hanover and was en route to Hamburg. Around the time the train reached a small town known as Eschede, it derailed and crashed into an overpass. The result was as fatal as it was tragic. The accident happened because a single wheel rim of the train fractured due to metal fatigue and lodged itself into the train tracks and eventually the rail line switch. This caused a derailment in the third cabin of the train, causing it to strike a bridge pillar of an overpass, which ended up collapsing onto the train. At the time, the 8 rear cabins behind the faulty cabin quite literally folded onto themselves like a folding ruler. Around 101 people died, including 2 technicians standing near the bridge who were trampled. While there isn't footage of the accident occurring, there are videos of the aftermath. You can clearly see that massive train looking like a mangled worm. The intensity of the accident was so extreme that the restaurant cabin was compressed to barely 15 centimeters in height when the bridge fell on top of it. For reference, a phone with a 14.4 centimeter thickness would not be able to fit in it. In addition to the fatalities, the disaster left 88 people severely injured with irreversible effects. The survivor, Udo Bauer, calls his own injury that left him severely disabled as lifelong penalty. In another particularly disturbing fact, there have been reports that this particular train had been running a few minutes late. This led to the opposite train passing the bridge just 2 minutes earlier. If it had been even slightly late, it would have definitely crashed into the wreckage.
Can we get some more likes, y'all? Can we get some more likes?
European heatwave of 2022. In Europe, 2022 was marked.
Trying to watch your video with y'all. I don't know.
As one of the deadliest years in terms of climate change. The summers of the year were so disastrous that it almost caused a widespread environmental collapse. Unlike other entries on this list where the destruction is immediate and unavoidable, this particular phenomenon occurred in a slow, suffocating way that was fully recorded in real time.
I took the mic out. I don't feel like using it. I don't really like using it when I'm doing interviews.
Could literally feel its effects as they were happening. Between them, temperatures it had never witnessed before. They literally rose to 40 degrees centigrade in Western Europe, where the average summer temperature was between 20 to 30. The abrupt rise in heat caused an unprecedented ratio of wildfires. It wasn't long before villages, forests, and entire ecosystems were burnt to a crisp. Most experts deduced that this was the second deadliest heat wave in Europe, followed by the one in 2003. It was purely because of greenhouse gases and burning of fossil fuel. According to statistics, a whopping 62,862 people died due to heat-related causes. The 2003 heat wave had caused 71,000 fatalities. There's no doubt how far we've come in terms of technology and awareness. Still having such a drastic downturn is definitely a lot more worrying. Japan Airlines collision with Japan Coast Guard. In January of 2024, the Haneda Airport in Tokyo became stage for a tragedy that was subsequently caught on several CCTV cameras and passenger phones. What happened was that a new Japanese Airlines plane, Flight 516, was cleared to land when it fatally collided with a stray Coast Guard aircraft, Dash 8. According to reports, the Coast Guard plane had been told to hold position, but the pilot misunderstood and taxied forward just as Flight 516 was about to touch down. Traffic controllers themselves failed to notice the Coast Guard aircraft on the runway despite the warning systems. And ultimately, all of these factors contributed to the Airbus colliding with the smaller plane. The minute the larger plane struck the smaller plane's turboprop, large blazing flames burst out, illuminating the entire airport despite it being evening. The Coast Guard jet was immediately wrecked, and the Airbus dragged it along for an entire kilometer before coming to a stop. The biggest tragedy was that 5 of the 6 Coast Guards in the aircraft lost their lives. Only the pilot survived, and he too sustained severe, almost fatal injuries. On the other hand, all 379 people on the JAL-15 were evacuated and accounted for. According to later reports, the crew had only 18 minutes to help everyone escape to safety. However, the emergency announcement system of the plane had become faulty right at the minute, which prompted the crew members to shout instructions to the passengers through either megaphones or directly. One video from a passenger shows smoke filling cabins as people begin to panic beyond control. You can hear children crying and some people shouting, "Please let us out," in the clip. Despite all the chaos, the very immediate action from the staff saved 379 lives, out of which 17 passengers sustained only minor injuries. Sadly, there were 2 pets on board, a dog and a cat, who were not evacuated in time and had died. Investigations later blamed the incident on multiple human errors on both the Coast Guard pilot's part and the ATC's. Asbestos. Never in history have we seen asbestos being associated with something good. One of the worst asbestos poisonings in American history can be dated back to 1919, when a vermiculite mine was acquired by a company fulfilling 80% of the world's vermiculite needs. The money was good, and the town in which the mine was located was thriving. Libby, Montana is that town. It's a small mountainside town in northwestern Montana. It became a victim of asbestos poisoning so bad, the aftermath is still being felt decades later. Unbeknownst to the people of Libby and the mining company, the vermiculite they had been mining for so long was contaminated with one of the most toxic forms of asbestos, known as tremolite actinolite. Because businesses were thriving, the mining and the milling continued for years, to the point where not only was toxic asbestos fibers covering the entire area, but was also being used as fill for a wide variety of construction work. In other words, the toxic asbestos was now completely integrated into the town's fundamental structure. It was in the air, the soil, the water, and eventually, because of being used in construction, it was also in the buildings. Literally every other resident was a victim of asbestos poisoning, also known as asbestosis. Different journalism sources began to uncover the devastation, and it was later found out that 10% of the town had died from inhaling the poisonous substance. Almost 1,000 people were affected, and new cases kept emerging every week. In 2009, a public emergency was declared for Libby and the other nearby town of Troy. Massive cleanup of around $130 million was underway. The damage ended up being more than what anyone had initially expected. The cleaning spanned decades, and by 2018, over 1 million cubic yards of contaminated soil and material had been removed from the area. The legal side of things, on the other hand, were just as messy. The company was initially charged for complicity, but was later acquitted. The state also came to a settlement with the victims and promised to pay them around $43 million. Southall train crash, 1997. The Southall train crash of 1997 is the second deadliest train crash on the list that ended up claiming a large number of lives. It unfolded on September 19th when a high-speed passenger train slammed into a freight train just outside of London. The train was known as the Intercity 125 and was going nearly 200 kilometers per hour when it came across the freight train. The driver of the passenger train had reportedly been distracted by his luggage when he missed two red
Baby. That's it. In God we trust.
signals. The train's automatic warning system was turned off. The driver saw the other train
Every reserved note.
late. Simply had no time left to apply the brakes. The result was a collision so sudden and devastating that the impact of it could be heard and felt far away. One of the witnesses claimed that, "I remember this day like it was yesterday. We knew something massive had happened. I was returning from school from my lunch break with a few friends. It was scary for myself as my dad used to work near a garage near the railway. Having returned to school, they called us in for an assembly and told us all to go home as the ambulance services wanted us to use the school as a medical point for those who were injured." The carnage was caught on grainy CCTV footage, which is enough to make your stomach drop.
I'm listening and looking like y'all is, y'all. Shit crazy.
Clip, you can clearly see the front of the passenger train crashing into the freight wagons with exceptional force, instantly tearing through them and derailing. The second cabin of the train instantly fell to its side, and the ones following literally lift off from the tracks into mid-air. It looks like a scene from a movie, and it's just as real as it is horrifying. In the aftermath, 7 people died and more than 150 were injured. The legal proceedings that followed led to several revisions in the Rail Safety and Standards Board rulebook. including a new requirement for drivers to inform signalers if and when their AWS becomes defective. Level 4. Margarine and flour. Margarine and flour disaster refers to an extremely that took the lives of 39 people. The Mont Blanc Tunnel is a highway tunnel that connects France and Italy and is known to have a considerable traffic of heavy vehicles. It's also been notorious for its small smoke and fire-related incidents. Most of these incidents, however, have always been instantly dealt with, no major damage. However, that changed on March 24th, 1999, when a Belgian transport truck carried all from the French side. Just as it touched the 6.5-kilometer mark inside the tunnel, the truck suddenly started emitting thick smoke. Other cars crossing the truck tried to warn the driver with their headlights, but it took him quite some time to realize something was wrong. By the time he did, flames and smoke had already engulfed the vehicle and was expanding through the tunnel. Margarine and flour are highly flammable food products. Their collective combustion inside the tunnel created perfect conditions for an extremely deadly smoke and a sustained flame. Within no time, the temperatures near the fire exceeded 100 degrees Celsius. Most vehicles coming from the France side were stuck behind the truck. The drivers tried to escape the tunnel by foot. The toxic smoke fumes were way too overwhelming for that. Of a wedding that was enough when everything around her came crashing down. The Tenerife Airport disaster. March 27th, 1977. The Tenerife Airport became a hub for an accident that caused the death of 583 people, making it one of the deadliest aviation disasters in history. A few hours earlier, a terrorist bombing at Gran Canaria had diverted multiple planes to the much smaller Los Rodeos Airport. To an airport with barely any capacity pushed the systems and the staff to their limits. The result of the congestion was the devastating collision of two Boeing 747s, one under a company known as KLM and the other under Pan Am. The Los Rodeos Airport is around 633 meters from sea level, which gives it certain weather conditions that are not exactly the most suitable for planes. On the day of the
For the world, y'all gotta get your vape game out. So we got the LA kind of vapes.
50 eerie stories.
We got these kind.
This iceberg is an eerie mix of some of the wildest things to happen in each state of the U.S. From the bizarre cases to violent crimes, I fished out some of the most horrific stories out there.
How much juice?
Let's start at the tip.
You got on this side.
Level 1, Nebraska, Curly Green.
How much
in the state of Nebraska,
battery you got?
25%. Walter Green, aka Walter Curly Green, is
and then you can turn up the
watts. Many. He lived in Omaha and led a pretty low-key life till he passed away from a heart attack in 1978. That's when news got out that he had left behind a hidden wealth in real estate, stocks, bonds, and a coin collection. He even owned the building he lived in. It all added up to over $200,000, and Walter hadn't left a will. He was also very private, and nobody knew about his past, his family, or where the money could have come from. Without a will or any known heirs, a wild search began. Investigators combed through records and chatted with friends. They found out his parents were Harry Albert Green and Ann Maren Green. He had also mentioned a brother who was killed in a shootout. Walter had also received postcards from someone in Brooklyn, New York, but none of them have been successfully traced. One intriguing detail was a mysterious wreath sent to his funeral, signed by Mrs. Jo Greener from Denver, but no one has been able to find her. Since the story of Curly's fortune got out, hundreds of people claim to be his heirs, but none have been able to prove it. Today, Curly's fortune remains the largest unclaimed heir in Nebraska's history. Idaho, Buffalo Cave Torso. In August 26, 1979, a family was out hunting for arrowheads at Buffalo.
All right, John.
I'm at the club.
Comment, subscribe, make sure you share the video.
24 snaps, 7 months before taking her life. A woman unknowingly posting her final moments on Snapchat during a nightclub shooting. These are some of the most disturbing snaps to ever come out of the platform. The further we go down the iceberg, the more we realize how Snapchat's privacy-heavy features can easily turn into a death sentence if misused. Let's start at the tip of the iceberg. Level 1. Falling into traffic for Snap. In September of 2020, a woman fell out of her car window while filming herself taking the perfect Snapchat video. The accident occurred on the M25 motorway south of London, where the car the woman was in was going at speeds well above 110 miles per
Trying
hour.
to get y'all something
In
good.
fact, the video she took before she fell onto the road, literally captioned, "End up dead." Thankfully, though, despite falling out of a speed coupled with the caption, the front seat passenger was hanging out of the car whilst filming a Snapchat video along the M25. She then fell out of the car and into a live lane. It's only by luck she wasn't seriously injured or killed. When they were asked by another Twitter user whether these people, including the driver, were called out, they replied, "Every chase, this woman was lucky enough to survive, but there have been numerous similar cases where the ones partaking in this stupid stunt end up losing their lives." That's not a bird. On November 2nd, 2015, Australian Snapchat and Reddit user Skinna shares a series of videos on his Snap showing his parents' birds to his audience. The videos essentially just consist of him going to each one of the 3 in front of Skinna's front door, which is visible from his camera. In the first clip, he goes to his cockatiel and introduces him. It's a perfectly normal, maybe even adorable video that passes by in an instant. In the second clip, he goes to his rainbow lorikeet and introduces it, and instantly transitions into introducing his puffin. The videos themselves are so quick that unless you sit down and hyper-focus on them, there's probably a major chance you'll miss the anomaly. After posting his clips, Skinna gets a reply from one of his friends.
I'm gonna finish this iceberg layer off with y'all, then I'm gonna sign out and tab back in a little later.
Friend appreciates his birds, but instantly asks him who the person is in the back of the second
I just
clip.
want to chill for a little
That
bit,
gets Skinner's radar
trying
going.
to get my
He
thoughts
goes back to
together,
his stories to rewatch
come
them,
up
and
with
sure
some new
enough,
ideas,
there's a weird apparition looking into the house
stuff like that.
through the main doors. After collective effort from Reddit users,
Like
he
taking that.
manages to isolate the image.
Like,
When he
comment,
makes out
subscribe,
of it,
share the
leaves him
video.
horrified. The picture basically shows a man behind the front door looking into Skinner's house with immense interest. Based on the low-quality image, it can be assumed that he's Skinner creeped out beyond belief. He recounts the time as a kid when he would get nightmares and sleep paralysis in the same house. You remember seeing a fairly similar image of a man looking into his room outside his window. Naturally, for the next few days, Skinner goes on high alert. Every little sound or triggered motion sensor light begins to fuel his paranoia to the point where he can't function properly. That's when something much scarier happens a few days later. Skinner, in his second Reddit post, explains that the second time he felt really scared was when he was home alone once again and started to hear loud banging and screeching from the outside. out, takes his camera with him, and tries to record everything just in case. You can hear the banging sound in the back of the videos he's shared. Ultimately, he patrols around the entire house, finds nothing, and goes back to whatever he was doing before. It's only until he posts the video on Reddit does he get bombarded with messages telling him there's a man inside the house this time around. Like clockwork, Skinner shuffles through his clips once more, isolates it, and finds a weirdly large-looking apparition standing at the far end of one of the rooms. The strange man disappears literally the next minute, but has already been caught on video. This spooks OP beyond belief and police, who basically pins the entire thing on robbers that might have tried to steal a few valuables, but failed because of how diligent Skinner was with his filming. Eventually, things go quiet, and the last ranking friends. In a now defunct premium feature, Snapchat introduced a similar friend ranking system. The gist of the entire thing was that if you were subscribed to Snapchat's monthly $4 subscription, you had the option to see how much your friends were snapping you. Based on that, you'd receive a rank of closeness with them. Mercury was the highest ranking planet, which meant that your friend was snapping you the most. Then came Venus, Earth, Mars, and so on. The one friend on your list you were least closest to was Neptune, which in teenage language basically meant that the two of you hated each other. Not Venus, Earth, that you'd receive a rank of closeness with them. The gist of the entire thing was that if you were subscribed King Friends. In a now defunct premium feature, Snapchat introduced a similar friend ranking system. The gist of the entire thing was that if you were subscribed to Snapchat's monthly $4 subscription, you had the option to see how much your friends were snapping you. Based on that, you'd receive a rank of closeness with them. Mercury was the highest ranking, Earth, Mars, and so on. The one friend on your list you were least closest to was Neptune, which in teenage language basically meant that the two of you hated each other. Naturally, a system this arbitrary was not going to be taken as such by the largest demographic too seriously. They would subscribe to the premium version of the app just to obsessively use the ranking system. They would even go as far as to rely on this ranking system to define their real-life friendships and relationships. In no reality is this a healthy coping mechanism. It's highly triggering and gives so many of these people anxiety issues. Worst case scenarios would cause massive conflicts between people that would end up in all-out brawls and bullying. Eventually, this would culminate in a lack of social skills, self-isolation, and more mental health issues. Snapchat ultimately ended up removing the feature by default. You can only turn it on willingly if you want to. According to the devs, Snapchat Plus subscribers who want more friendship insights can proactively turn it on, and those who don't will never have to see it. The question is this nearly enough to reverse all the years of damage features such as these have caused to young people? Level 2. Snapchat dysmorphia.
Dang. Yeah, that was the end of that one. So I don't see nobody tuning in right now. Man, thank y'all so much for participating in my episodes, my lives, or whatever. Every single one of y'all that, whether you commenting or you liking, it all adds up. It's all helpful, and I want to say thank you again. Yeah, so I'll be back on here later. Y'all know how I do. I'm about to chill though. Like I said, I want to just chill out for a little. The more the videos go up.